Walaikum assalam.
My name is Aisha Afaf and I am in 5th grade. Today I am going to present to you my science project. The title is Health and Hygiene. Why I chose this project? It was another ordinary day and my parents told me several times to keep my hands away from my face. Now that coronavirus is spreading, they have been even more strict about my hands near my face. I wanted to find out what makes your hands such a criminal to your body. So I decided I'd do my science project on it. My question is our health in our hands? My hypothesis: I don't think our hands are so dirty that they can spread infectious diseases and make us sick. To get the answer to my question and to prove my hypothesis, I had to do some research on infectious diseases and their background. In the USA, we have CDC, and for the whole world, we have WHO. These are health organizations for the world. According to WHO, infectious diseases are caused by pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, parasites, and fungi. These diseases can be spread from person to person, directly or indirectly. Zoonotic diseases are diseases that are transmitted from animals to humans that make us sick. An example is coronavirus. Very important, please pay attention. At this point, when we are in a state of pandemic and we have coronavirus emergency at home, it becomes imperative to understand how we can stay healthy and prevent disease. For example, our hands. They can be our first line of defense. Similarly, when it comes to diseases, our hands can be our first line of preventing the disease or our first line of spreading the disease and making us sick. I did some experiments to understand this. My materials were agar powder, flashlight, blow germ lotion, bread, gloves, Petri dishes, participants of different age groups, and all these other materials. Experimental strategy. I did 3 experiments. The first experiment, I touched bread with and without washing my hands. Experiment 2, I prepared sterile agar plates. I asked participants to touch the agar plates with washing hands, without washing hands, and after sanitizing hands. I took the nose and mouth swabs and I incubated the plates overnight. Results for experiment number 1. When you come home from a long day of school and you're hungry, do you reach out to eat something without washing your hands? Next time you do, remember my results. I did the same. I went home and I was about to reach for a bread piece, but my mom, she reminded me to wash my hands. My hands looked perfectly clean, so I decided I'd touch the bread without washing my hands. Then I washed my hands and touched another bread piece. I observed what happened. After 4 days, there was 10% of mold on the bread piece I touched with my unwashed hands. On day 5, there was 60% of mold on the bread piece that I touched with my unwashed hands, as you can see here. And on day 10, the mold had covered the bread completely, and there was 90% of mold. So next time, when you're about to reach for something to eat without washing your hands, remember this gross bread piece. Results for experiment number 2. As you can see here, I have the results of different age groups touching the agar plates with washing hands, without washing hands, and after sanitizing their hands. Adults, please pay attention, as I was not expecting this to happen. When the adult group touched the agar plates, all of them grew bacteria. I took the average percent of bacteria and the outcome was 81%. So this shows that not only kids, but adults have to be mindful when it comes to proper hand washing. The 6 to 11 age group was the dirtiest, and I wasn't part of it. When they touched the agar plates without washing their hands, there was 95% of bacteria, very dirty. And when they washed their hands, it decreased to 75%. But this shows they did not wash their hands properly. The next group is the 4 to 5 preschoolers. This is my favorite group. When they did not wash their hands, there was 50% of bacteria on the agar plates. When they washed their hands, it decreased to 37%. And I asked a group of preschoolers to just sanitize their hands only. And the outcome was 44% of bacteria on the agar plates. This shows that hand sanitizing your hands does not clean them as well as proper hand washing. I asked another group of preschoolers to wash their hands and to sanitize them as well, and the outcome was beautiful. There was 1.2% of bacteria on the agar plates, as you can see here. This is the control plate to show that nothing was growing in our agar. These results increased my curiosity to see what comes out when we sneeze or cough. I took the nose and mouth swabs, and to my surprise, there was tons of bacteria on the plates. This shows that when we sneeze or cough, how much bacteria comes out. Now, the agar is nutritious food for bacteria. And beware, these dots are not just one bacteria, they are millions of them together. So that's how you can see them. That's why you can't see the bacteria on your hands. Now, viruses are even smaller than bacteria. So imagine us sneezing or coughing out viruses into the air. And did you know that when you sneeze or cough, germs spread into the air up to 6 feet? So those are many germs in the air. That's why we should cover our sneeze or cough with our inner elbow or a tissue. Results for experiment number 3. Before I tell you my experiment, I would like to do it right now. Rena, can you please come up for me? Please put your hand out and I'm going to put some lotion on you. Rub it all over your hands, please. Inside like this. And can I see your hands? Don't worry if they're wet. Other way. And I'm going to rub them all around your nails, okay? And now, can you please scratch your hands for me, like this? Okay, put your hands out. I'm going to put a little bit more. Now, rub them again. All over, please. Okay, till it's dry. Okay, that's good enough. Now show your hands to the audience like this. Can you see anything glowing on her hands? Can you put a little higher so the judges can see? Can you see anything glowing on her hands? Yes, these glowing objects are germs, but these germs are only for demonstration and not harmful, as what I put on her is Glow Germ Lotion. Thank you, Rena, so much. Please go wash your hands now. Now, I would like to check some people in the audience if you are infected with the germs. Can I please see your hands? You are infected with the germs. No, you're not infected. That's good. Can I see? No. Yes, you are infected. Yes, you too. Turn around. Yep, right there. Oh, turn around. Okay. So, I know who the culprit behind this is. I am. I all told you that I put some lotion on you and that it was good. Well, I actually put the Glow Germ lotion on you, and I told you to rub it. Now, you all shook other people's hands, and you spread the germs. So, I wanted to show you how germs are spread unknowingly. So, now I also did this experiment with the preschoolers. I infected some of them with the Glow Germ, and I let them play for 5 minutes. I called them back, and all of them were infected with the germs, as they had spread them to the toys and their clothes. Excuse me. I told them to go wash their hands. They did not wash their hands properly, as they still had the Glow Germs on them. This shows how important washing our hands is. Now let us check if our volunteer washed their hands properly. Show your hands to the audience, please. Yes, you're good. A little. Now turn your hands. Wait. They're still on your... Wait, show them to the audience, please. They're still on your nails. This shows how important... Thank you, Rena, very much. This shows how important proper hand washing is. We should remember a high five when it comes to hand washing. There are 5 steps for proper hand washing. 1, wet your hands. 2, apply soap. 3, scrub for 20 seconds. 4, rinse the soap off. And 5, dry your hands. Proper hand washing is very important to get rid of most of the germs. My friends, can you imagine an adult going to the bathroom and coming out without washing their hands? Yes. Gross, right? Well, CDC did this discovery, adults, not me. So, what they did is they studied about hand washing, and they found that only 31% of men wash their hands after using the bathroom. Ew, gross. We women are still a little better, as only 65% of women wash their hands after using the bathroom. When CDC did this study, he made a campaign called Global Hand Washing Day each year on October 15th. This campaign was to create awareness about the importance of hand washing. My conclusion: the entry points of germs into our body are our eyes, nose, and mouth. These are the 3 main entry points. Our hands carry millions of germs, as you saw here. We frequently touch our face, and by doing so, we allow more germs to come into our body and make us sick. So, my hypothesis was wrong. Even though our hands look clean, they are filled with germs. And for sure, our health is in our hands. These were the results that I got. Now, let us look at some other scientific evidence by CDC. CDC says that proper hand washing reduces the number of people who get sick. It reduces diarrhea by 23 to 58%. These little numbers show which sources I used. It reduces respiratory illnesses by 16 to 21%, gastrointestinal illnesses by 29 to 57%. And did you know, in US, the total loss of students being absent because of these diseases is $10.7 billion per year. 16 to 58% of this loss can simply be avoided by proper hand washing. Now that we are in the flu season, I would like to talk to you about the flu pandemics of the 19th century onward. The Great Flu Pandemic of 1918 claimed that 50 to 100 million lives were lost, including 675,000 in the USA. There have been other flu pandemics that have killed millions of people. Now, I will give you the recent data from CDC about the seasonal flu. CDC estimates that from October 1st through 2019 through February 22nd, 2020, there have been 18,000 to 46,000 flu deaths. And now that we are in the coronavirus pandemic, I would like to talk to you about the coronavirus. Coronavirus, named as COVID-19, is the same as the common cold flu virus. COVID-19 spreads through the droplets of the nose and the mouth, just like the flu. COVID-19 that spreads through human to human in contact. And on March 3rd, 2020, it was proved that coronavirus is in our community, as there have been cases where people have been in no direct link to traveling or infected people. There have been more than 130,000 cases of coronavirus worldwide. There have been 1,660 cases in the USA and 142 cases in the Bay Area. There have been more than 4,700 deaths because of coronavirus worldwide, 41 deaths in the USA and 1 death in the Bay Area. My friends, there is no need to panic at this time though. We should practice healthy habits to stay healthy and avoid disease. We can avoid close contact with people who are sick, and if we are sick, we should stay home. We should cover our mouth and nose with our inner elbow or a tissue. And most importantly, we should clean our hands often with soap and water. We should avoid touching our eyes, nose, and mouth, as these are the 3 main entry points of germs into our body. And if we are not sick, there is no need to wear a mask, as this provides false sense of security. We should practice other good healthy habits like disinfecting places where we normally touch, exercise, and eat nutritious food. My acknowledgements. I'm very thankful to all the participants, including the San Francisco VA Medical Center Preschool, for participating in my study. UCSF and allowing me to work in their lab, my mom, dad, and little sister Zia for all their help, and my teachers for their support and encouragement. These are the sources I used. Now I would like to end my presentation with the words of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Islam cares about the well-being of the human both in this world and the akhirah. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Al-tuhuru shatr al-iman." Cleanliness is half of faith. He also said, "Al-mu'min al-qawiyyu khayrun wa ahabbu ila Allahi min al-mu'min al-da'if," which means a strong believer is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than a weak one. This is because a strong believer is more qualified to fulfill the objectives of Islam and serve the humanity. So my friends, stay clean, stay healthy, and above all, create awareness. Thank you.